Manx Radio 1368, the best biking station in the world. Brought to you by Kawasaki Insurance.
Fast am I, and a very good afternoon. Welcome to Manx Radio Motorsport coverage of Day 2 of the Blackford Financial Services Pre-TT Classic Road Races here at the Billown Course in the south of the Isle of Man. What a scintillating start we had yesterday evening in the first practice session to warm our hearts on a chilly grey night. Not ideal conditions, but Sulby man Dan Sale grabbed the headlines with an unofficial lap record of 83.851 miles per hour on his 125cc post-classic Honda. We'll run through the top 6 times in a minute, but conditions today much, much warmer. In fact, perfect. Let's look at the weather forecast then from the Ronaldsway Met Office. Fine and dry with sunny intervals and light winds and a maximum temperature of 16 Celsius. A risk of the odd shower this evening and overnight. And then tomorrow, well, we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? It says mostly cloudy with showers or longer spells of rain, but light winds again. Maximum temperature down on today at 14 Celsius. Well, I'm Tim Glover here on the start-finish line on the Castletown bypass, and the rest of the commentary team. We've got Rob Pritchard at Cross Four Ways, and Chris Kinley is at the Southern 100 Clubhouse just a little further down the way on the bypass. The schedule then, roads are now closed around the Billown Course, and they will be until at least 4:30 at the latest. And then they will reopen, and they will close again this evening at 6 o'clock through until no later than 9 o'clock. And, of course, this evening we have our first 4 races. Practice times then from last night, and, well, what an evening we had. Had a bit of a delay at the start because of a couple of local, it has to be said, registered parked cars on the runoff at Castletown Corner. They had to be moved before we could get underway. So the sessions are just trimmed a little bit to allow the organisers to get the road open on time. So in the race 1, the singles last night, go through the top 6 in each class. At first was Will Loader at 83.772 miles per hour. Second was Andy Hunt, 103 bike number at 75.078 miles per hour. Third was Rod Graham at 73.653 miles per hour. Fourth was Shelley Pike at 72.915 miles per hour. Fifth, Andrew Guy at 72.641 miles per hour. And sixth, John Cliff at 72.598 miles per hour. The fastest they were all 350 machines. The fastest 250 was Angela Cragg at 71.209 miles per hour. Race 2, the 1,100 cc's. Top of the pile was Adam McLean at 92.638 miles per hour. Second was Andy Hornby, 91.543 miles per hour. Third was Alan Oversby at 91.049 miles per hour. Fourth was Richard Ford at 89.221 miles per hour. Fifth, Barry Davidson at 88.017 miles per hour. And sixth was the Laxey man Joe Yeardsley at 87.264 miles per hour. Then we had race 3, the Junior Superbike, and top of the pile there, Matt Milcreast, 96.240 miles per hour. Second was Rhys Hardesty at 94.489 miles per hour. Third, Alan Oversby at 93.744 miles per hour. Fourth was Don Gilbert, 93.389 miles per hour. Fifth, Darrell Tweed at 92.455 miles per hour. And sixth, Damien Crook at 92.303 miles per hour. Next was race 5, the 500cc senior, and leading the way there on provisional pole is Adam McLean at 93.667 miles per hour. Second, Joe Yeardsley at 91.710 miles per hour. Third again, Alan Oversby at 91.156 miles per hour. Fourth, Will Loader at 88.161 miles per hour. Fifth was Paul Cassidy at 87.993 miles per hour. And sixth, Aaron Hughes, 86.926 miles per hour. Next was race 6, the 250 lightweight and the 125cc post-classic machines. And there was the headline, Dan Sale, top of the pile, an unofficial lap record, 83.851 miles per hour. Second was Owen Monaghan at 81.288 miles per hour. Third, Richard Ford at 81.196 miles per hour. He was the first of the 250s. Fourth, Brian Mattia, 79.394 miles per hour as the course cars, inspection cars have left to do a little lap of the Billown Course, check everything's in place. Fifth was Barry Davidson at 78.073 miles per hour. And sixth, Keith Shannon, 77.493 miles per hour. Then race 7, the junior, and he was not third in this, he was at the top. Alan Oversby, 88.077 miles per hour. Second, Will Loader at 86.819 miles per hour. Third, Barry Davidson at 86.661 miles per hour. Fourth, Adam McLean at 86.277 miles per hour. Fifth, number 2, Andy Hornby at 85.318. And sixth, Nigel Moore at 85.097 miles per hour. Then we had race 8, the big bikes, the post-classic superbikes. And top was the reigning champ, Joe Yeardsley, bike number 1, 102.502 miles per hour. Second, Marcus Simpson, 100.134 miles per hour. Third, Mike Brown, 100.091 miles per hour. Fourth, Don Gilbert at 98.168 miles per hour. Fifth, Mark Colvin at 97.137 miles per hour. And sixth, Michael Bampton, 95.981 miles per hour. And finally, for races 4 and 9, the sidecars, top there, Jack Gristwood and Alice Smith, 80.053 miles per hour. Second, Tony Thurkel and William Morley, 79.294 miles per hour. Third, Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes, 78.583 miles per hour. Fourth, Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves, the newcomer passenger, 78.252 miles per hour. Fifth was Mike Bellaby and Dave Griswood, 77.962 miles per hour. And sixth, newcomer James Blackmore with Trevor Johnson in the passenger seat, 72.765 miles per hour. Only 9 outfits in the sidecar recording times last night. Well, let's just remind you the schedule. We're practicing through all of those races this afternoon, starting at 12:45 with the singles. We'll go through the exact order of the times I've just given you, so we'll be able to compare. I have a feeling things will be a little bit quicker in these warmer conditions, and of course laps under the belt as well. So let's just get the views, and I'm sure it's a much warmer Cross Four Ways. Great anticipation ahead of this afternoon. Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, thanks, Tim, and very good afternoon to everyone around the Billown Course and beyond as well. It is indeed beautiful conditions out here over at Cross Four Ways, and the Factor 50 sun spray is out. I think that's going to be my best friend throughout this afternoon. Looking at the conditions, yes, warm and also clear blue skies as well. Let's hope that holds for as long as possible. And over in the distance, my trusty weather vane of South Barrule has finally returned after being lost in the mist of last night, of course. Even though there was that low cloud, it didn't affect the session going ahead. All of those involved within the Southern 100, those out on the course and the marshals and all the staff besides doing a great job despite that minor delay to the start of proceedings yesterday, getting things ahead swiftly and safely as well. Well, Tim's already gone through there some of the top times from last night's qualifying sessions and some notable performances elsewhere as well. Some of the headlines, as Tim's already mentioned, that brilliant unofficial lap record in the 125cc post-classic session from Dan Sale, 83.651 miles per hour. And Will Loader, of course, setting down a real benchmark in that opening singles classic session. 21 seconds clear he is at the top from that session. Wonder if anyone can try and make up ground on Will Loader in that particular class as well. Matt Milcrease, what a performance performance that was in the junior superbikes as well. Just shy of 3 seconds clear of the defending champion in the class, Rhys Hardesty as well, who's right in the mix at the moment. And it is a Manx 1-2 as it stands, of course, in the post-classic senior superbike. Joe Yeardsley, the defending champion in that class and lap record holder in that class, just around 3.5 seconds ahead of fellow Manxman Marcus Simpson. That could be an interesting battle as well. And I believe from last night as well, a few eyebrows raised with the pace of Mike Brown in that particular class as well. Maybe throwing the cat amongst the pigeons a little bit as to where the podiums and indeed the win might end up going once racing gets underway in that particular category. Particularly in the sidecars as well, and they were close together on the road and close together in the timings as well, Jack Griswood and Alice Smith. But just having a look at those in behind in second and third, Tony Thurkel and William Morley, and Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes respectively, there's just over 3 seconds, I should say, separating all three of those sidecar outfits. They were close together on the road as well. So will they maybe try and set out at different times if they can, if they're allowed to? Maybe just get a bit of fresh tarmac in front of them as well. Just starting asking a few questions of the timings of the others, maybe to see who can maybe take authority and qualify right on that front row once the first sidecar race gets underway. And looking as well, we gave them a good mention last night, and I think it's fair to say great to see newcomers in plenty of the classes this year as well. A couple of the ones who caught my eye, there were two in the junior superbike class. Number 47, Luke Blevins, 11th fastest in that opening junior superbike session, so great running there. And also within the top 20, another newcomer, number 99, Sam Norton as well, 18th quickest in the junior superbike session. 8 newcomers in that junior superbike section as well, so great to see as many of those out there as possible. In the 125cc post-classic, naturally the headlines were with Dan Sale, but also just a quick mention to another first-timer in number 55, Rhys Callister as well, 11th in the standings in the 125cc post-classic after day one. And also in the sidecars as well, the number 11 outfit, Danny Quirk, an experienced competitor around this Billown course already, but with a new passenger, of course, in Sharon Reeves, 4th in the standings, but only 0.8 seconds off the pace of Greg Lambert and Andy Haynes in 3rd there. So maybe, just maybe, getting themselves into contention in those top 3 spots. No doubt the solos and sidecar outfits will have been doing a bit of fettling work, whether it was late last night once the session came to a close or early this morning. So it'll be interesting to see who maybe makes up ground, who maybe loses ground potentially. We'll just have to wait and see once the session gets underway. But still, particularly across a lot of the classes, it looks still like there's plenty to play for. Whether it is at the top, whether it's for the podium or even those top 10 places, still plenty of questions to be answered today before we go racing this evening. Waiting to get things underway here at Cross Four Ways in these beautiful conditions. Handing back to you, Tim Glover.
Thanks very much indeed, Rob Pritchard. Well, the course cars have returned back. So without further ado, we'll just go a few hundred metres down the Castletown bypass to the Southern 100 Clubhouse and say a very good afternoon to Chris Kinley.
Good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon to everybody around the course. It's beautiful down here. Do you know, I got home last night and the missus said, would you like a glass of wine? I went, no, I want a cup of tea and I want to keep warm. I was absolutely freezing. Well done to all the Orange Army who stood out there last night in the cold last night. But yeah, today a lot better. I've got the hat on. That's how warm it is to protect my old little head. Just having a quick chat with Chris Palmer just off air there. He's looking forward to seeing the practice and getting underway again in a little while. And of course, we've got 4 races coming up, as the guy said just a little bit later on, with the MSPR Singles Classic race. Should be good, this one. I think it's going to be a belter. Big shame though, big news coming from the paddock this morning that Mike Brown has withdrawn. So I'm not sure if Tim's giving you that news, because I've been having a little ferret around, speaking to a few people and kind of missing conversations. But yeah, Mike Brown is withdrawn, so we've been told from the event, from all classes. So I'm sure Mike would have been the possibility of being at least a podium finisher down here after having won here a good few years ago at the post TT, if I remember rightly. I think he won on a 600 Kawasaki when he was down here that time. Former Max Grand Prix winner as well. He'll be looking forward, of course, to next week to riding the Aprilia and the Super Twin race at the Alaman TT, which starts 2 days' time. That's a scary thought, isn't it? How quickly that's come round. So we're keeping a little eye on where the officials are here now. I'm stood right beside them, just by a little gate. And you know what? It's so high-tech down here. This is the great thing about grassroots road racing, which is what this is. Right? The gate is held. It's a lovely professional gate, probably supplied by Bobby Sadler's in Douglas over the years, but it's held from being pushed back by the little breeze that we have. And looking at the wind direction today is slightly different to what it was yesterday. I was telling you yesterday, if you look down the circuit, it was going from left to right. Now it's kind of going rightish to leftish. That sort of way, but kind of gusting and then dropping a bit. Nothing major, nothing really to to write home about. In fact, there's an awning here with a Welsh flag in it. The Welsh flag is blowing straight down the length of the course, so blowing basically from Castletown Bridge past the start and finish line and down towards the first corner at Ballachagan. That machine you can just hear fire up in the background, the little 2-stroke 250. Hang on a minute, here we go, you're going to get it. There you go, that means 1 minute. There you go, that's the new signal that they brought in for this year. The little klaxon thing that you get, you kind of find those sort of things at football. And we'll make our way up the road, up the little road that links the main bypass with the town of Castletown. If you head down back onto this road, you'll get past the Castle Rushen High School, Buchan School, down past your fire station, through that new big superstore thing that's taken over ShopRite. You know those guys, they're in there anyway. And then into Castletown town centre itself, which I'm sure has been pretty busy this morning. When I came here from further south in Port St Mary this morning, there was a lot of people around, milling around and coming forward to come and see these races here. The gate is open, nobody making their moves as of yet, so we're making the way up the road. I know it's an interested spectator here is Bill Swallow. Said he's having a nice little break this year, so the machines are now making their way down. They'll just be opening the gate. That's number 69, the first machine it comes to. That's Jeff Bates from Thornton Cleveley. Jeff goes past us, gives us a big thumbs up as well. 72 also, Shelley Pike goes through. Tell you what, I bet they're glad to see this after what we've had on the Isle of Man the last few days. 63 next, Angela Cragg goes through, newcomer last year for Angela. 25 also through Andrew Guy. Just seen my old mate Colin Stockdale here as well. Colin, nice to see Colin once again returning to the island, and you see lots of faces that you see every year. People just appear from nowhere and they're like, oh, I've not seen you for a year, or maybe they might come back for the Manx Grand Prix. But yeah, a lot of people come back and they sit in the same spots. They want to try and park in the same areas that they can, and a good, pretty healthy crowd down here for what we are now. 1 o'clock, 1:45 in the afternoon. 45, 15 and 27 all go through. 27 through there, gives us a big look. It's 27, that's John Cliff, Big John. He's got a lovely machine in the big unlimited class a little bit later on. We'll keep an eye on that little Harris frame Suzuki that he's got, really, really nice in the Heron Suzuki colours. Not sure if there's any more machines coming out as of yet. We'll have a little look. We'll keep an eye behind us, actually, because that's the important thing, because you need to keep your eyes in front of you and behind you as well. Definitely a day for a hat. Last night would have been a day for a woolly hat, to be fair. So one of the course inspection cars is just coming through. They're coming in to park themselves up, so we'll just help the team out by pulling the barrier back. So there's one inspection car back in. There it is, and that's a Subaru XV supplied by our friends at Millcreast. Had a good chat with James, or said hello to James yesterday. There you go, Dickie. See, it's all help, you know, it's all help. No more machines coming through as of yet, so we thought we'd have a few more, but not yet, doesn't seem to be. So there's about, about 10 or 12, maybe less. They've got a race a bit later on, so they're going to obviously have to just keep an eye out about the machines, because obviously these things can be a bit fragile. So look coming up there, no, just can't see any other machines. So I think everybody is wanting to cross the road. So the gate is going to be open any second now. There's no warning board going out. So machines for the first time on the Saturday afternoon here at the Blackford Financial Services Pre-TT Classic are heading out around the 4 1/4 mile Billown circuit. I was speaking to a couple of people here last night who've never been here before. They've seen it on the telly, but they wanted to know the best places to go. So I gave them a few pointers. So hopefully you're enjoying that out there today, guys and girls. So machines, Rob Pritchard at Cross Four Ways. They're making the way to you. Should be just around Ballachagan. We'll give you plenty of time to get set up.
Indeed, yeah, waiting for those machines to arrive here at Cross Four Ways for the first time today. In the next few minutes, you've mentioned a couple of the names that do appear to be heading out, and Chris Kinley does make a good point there. There is a bit of a balancing act that has to go on. Yes, you want to improve on the times you put out in the first session, but with these classic machines, you just don't quite know sometimes what they might throw up mechanically for you, so you want to make sure that bike is in the best condition possible heading into racing later this evening. Just looking at a couple of those names that Chris Kinley mentioned there just before they make their way into Cross Four Ways. I believe he mentioned that he saw number 69 Jeff Bates preparing to head out, and number 63 Angela Cragg. Both were running well after yesterday. Both Cragg and Bates 9th and 10th in the timings respectively yesterday. Angela Cragg's best time 3 minutes 34 point let's just have a look at that. 3 minutes 34.861. That was the final lap, in fact, and let's have a look at that again. 3:34.861 was indeed Angela Cragg's best time of the session in that final lap. For number 69 Jeff Bates in 10th, the best 3 minutes 35.1 1:38.166 as well. And I know Tim Glover mentioned this before as well, but just a reminder, just for those who may have missed it before, with regards to this class and how things went during last night, it was Will Loader who set down an imperious best time of 3 minutes 2 seconds, 0.639, 21.15 seconds ahead of the next nearest competitor, number 103, Andy Hunt there, who could manage 3:23.789 as a best lap time. And also in third, number 22, Rod Graham as well. Here is the first machine of the day coming through cross four ways, and that is number 72, Shelley Pike on the 350 Ducati as well. So plenty of space out there for Shelley Pike to make a bit of progress. Let's see where Shelley Pike was during that session last night. Did very well indeed. Fourth, Shelley Pike in the timings. 3 minutes 29.834, the best lap time from that escutcheon 4 machines. There's number 103, Andy Hunt. Number 63, Angela Cragg. That's number 25, Andrew Guy. And number 22 as well is Rod Graham. So 4 machines through cross four ways there. And I remember as well, Andrew Guy had a particularly good run out in this session last year as well. So maybe hoping to improve on the times, but still in a good position into the top 5. Andrew Guy, 3, 4, 5 more machines. 93, and there's number 40, Barry Davidson. Number 45 is Steve Higgerty. Number 79, Edward Poole is through cross four ways, as is number 27. John Cliff as well. John Cliff, another that was running well yesterday. 6th in the timings, 3 minutes 30.751. A best time there. Looking at a couple of the others, Edward Poole, that was good running. Number 79, that machine has made its way through cross four ways. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, it's just the first machinery sighted up on the bridge. Just one at the moment, and across the line they go. And that is number 72, Shelley Pike, through. No times, of course, because it's not a complete lap, with them starting further down the bypass from the holding area at the clubhouse. But more machinery, Shelley Pike well away, but more machinery coming into view. We'll have a listen as they cross the line. So the first of those was 103, Andy Hunt. Then we had 22, Rod Graham, 25, Andrew Guy, and 63, Angela Cragg, who is the fastest so far of the 250s. And a whole gaggle of machinery sighted up there on the bridge over the railway line. We look directly up the line. The steam trains are running today. So there we had 93, Gary Abbott, the newcomer, 45, Steve Higgerty, 40, Barry Davidson, 27, John Cliff, and 79, Edward Poole. So that is 10 machines that have gone past, and I think I just cited one maybe up on the bridge, but not that many out, as we were hearing from Chris Kinley. That fine balance, and here is another machine interview. Fine balance with a race later on today. And that is number 15, Bob Doughty. Bob Doughty there on that lovely sounding Ducati. Let's go back to cross four ways and Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, first flying lap of this session, so it'll be interesting to see if any of those who've actually gone out in today's session can make up just a little bit more ground. So we've already mentioned a couple of those who had their times that are out there so far in this session. We've mentioned Shelley Pike, 4th fastest last night. Andrew Guy, 5th fastest. John Cliff, number 27, 6th fastest. Edward Poole and Angela Cragg and Jeff Bates all in the top 10 as well. Number 72, so that is Shelley Pike, still well away from the rest of the pack out on the road as well, so maybe just a chance to iron a few things out. Potentially just having a look at the times from last night as well, occupying that last spot in the top 3. Number 22, Rod Graham, was 2.104 seconds ahead of Shelley Pike, so maybe just a bit of time that Shelley Pike can make up as number 103, Andrew Hunt, on the way through as well, 2nd in class last night. 25, Andrew Guy as well. Number 22, Rod Graham in there as well. So number 63, Angela Cragg, also through cross four ways on this first flying lap as well. So all of those looking around those sort of front row spots, the likes of Andy Hunt, Rod Graham, Shelley Pike, Andrew Guy, all out there at the moment. Can it maybe shake up the running order possibly in this second session going into racing later this evening? It'll be interesting to see what times they can put in and where they slot in come the end of this session. 2 more bikes emerging towards cross four ways. That's number 27, John Cliff. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you. Yes, I think Shelley Pike just about to come into view and past us. And that's 79.023 compared to her fastest last night of 71.209. So the hammer has been put firmly down there by Shelley Pike. In fact, that would put her up in second place overall behind Will Loder's 83.7. Two more machines to take across the line. And that was 25 Andrew Guy, 78.612, so that's a big improvement for him on 72.641. Andy Hunt, 77.423 compared to 75.07 last night. And Rod Graham, 75.899 compared to 73.653 last night. We've also had across the line there Angela Cragg at 74.247. So that is an improvement on 71.209. I should just correct myself. Shelley Pike last night was 72.915, but 79.023 miles per hour this evening. John Cliff is up into fifth place at 74.271, and Ed Poole, number 79, 72.650, and that was newcomer 93 Gary Abbott at 68.701. So the observation very early on is that, times are vastly improved on the chilliness of last night. Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, indeed. Just to put a bit of context, if you look at that Shelley Pike lap there, so a best of 3:29.8 yesterday, so that marks a 16.2 second difference on the fastest lap that Shelley Pike put in last night. Andrew Hunt as well, 3:27.7, and that's 10 seconds off 3:17.6, so really the pace starting to shoot up in this particular session at the moment as number 72, Shelley Pike, heads through cross four ways for the third time in this session. Rod Graham as well did a 3:27.7 best in the session last night, already taken 6.2 seconds off on that first flying lap, a 3:21.5 as well. So whatever's been happening in those awnings overnight and this morning seems to be helping. There's number 25 Andrew Guy on the way through, and number 103 Andy Hunt as well, one of those that we've already mentioned, has had a good run out so far over the particular sessions. Looking at Andrew Guy there, that 3:14.6, a good run out there in that first flying lap as number 22. Rod Graham on the way through as well, so Andrew Guy up into second just on the timings for this session as well. So 3:14 comparing yesterday to a 3:30.625, 16 seconds knocked off the time there by Andrew Guy as well. So clearly getting some good time out there on the bike as well, just to shake out any potential things that they just want to iron out, but also finding some really good pace. So that might be changing things going into racing this evening. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, 3-minute board has been on display for a good 20 seconds or so. 72 Shelley Pike improves again, 79.594 miles per hour, 3 minutes 12.226 seconds. So that will put a second at the moment on that grid with Will Loder from last night, who's not out, at 83.7 on pole. And that's quicker. Shelley Pike was second on the grid provisionally, but not now, because number 25, Andrew Guy, fastest of the afternoon session so far, 80.152 miles per hour. The 2-minute board is now on display. 2 minutes left of the session. That is Rod Graham. Hasn't improved on his lap previously, but Andy Hunt has. Andy Hunt third, 77.656 miles per hour. Angela Cragg improves again on her second timed lap here at 74.609 compared to 71.209 from last night. Another machine interview. We'll listen to it across the line. And that is the Manx Norton there of John Cliff. And he's up into the fourth quickest of the session at 76.021 miles per hour. There we are, the Norton again of Ed Poole this time. He's up into 7th quickest in the afternoon at 73.538 miles per hour. 1 minute board is on display here now. 1 minute, so these two riders just into view. We'll listen to them across the line, side by side. They are across the line. Great stuff. That was almost like the racing action we're looking forward to later on this evening. That was Steve Higgerty and Gary Abbott there, 45 and 93, the bike numbers. So it's Andrew Guy that's top of this session at 80.152. Quickest of the two sessions, though, is still Will Loader, number 21, 83.772 miles per hour. He's not out here this afternoon, but Shelley Pike considerably quicker, 72.9 last night and a time of 79.594 miles per hour. The checkered flag is being readied here at the start-finish line, so any of the bikes coming into view lower down, I think there's a couple that haven't quite got here. Here's one of them now, will not get out for a further lap, and this is number 15, and that is Bob Doughty. So let's go to Cross Four Ways and Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, we've had the first scutch of machines through, as you can just hear, number 63, Angela Cragg, on the way through Cross Four Ways. So by my reckoning, Shelley Pike, who is still way out at the front of the order on the road, should be heading towards the start-finish line anytime soon. But that previous flying lap of 3 minutes 10.887, a great time by Shelley Pike there, not just personally, but compared to Will Loader's best time that still stands at the moment from last start at 3 minutes 2.639, as number 27, John Cliff, makes the way through. That's brought it down to around the 8-second mark. So Will Loader's time still a decent chunk in front, but it's a far smaller gap than the 21 or so seconds in place from last night. There's number 79, Edward Poole, is on the way through Cross Four Ways for a final time in this particular session. 7th fastest at the moment in this particular session, 3 minute 28.057 so far. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, and the leaders crossing the line, taking the checkered flag. Andrew Guy, well, it's still that third lap at 80.152 that's going to be the marker for him. Andy Hunt has improved on that final lap, 78.147. There's number 22, Rod Graham. His quickest was the first of the laps this afternoon at 75.899. 63, Angela Cragg across the line, and she's gone quicker again, 74.848 miles per hour, which translates to 3 minutes 24.415 seconds. So it will be, looking at the fact that he wasn't out this afternoon, but he set the marker last night. 27 across the line, John Cliff, and no quicker than his third lap, which was 76.021. He takes the checkered flag. So it will be Will Loader, number 21, who'll be on pole. And that was Edward Poole across the line, a bit quicker as well, 73.631 miles per hour. But Will Loader, provisional pole at 83.772 miles per hour. And then second on the row will be number 25, Andrew Guy, at 80.152. And third on the grid will be number 72, Shelley Pike, at 79.594. Those two were the quickest here this afternoon. Third quickest was number 103, Andy Hunt. As two more come into view, we'll give his speed in a minute. I know people want to hear the bikes as much. That's what is so special about this Blackford Financial Services Pre-TT Classic Road Race. The sight and sounds and smells of yesteryear. So Andy Hunt, 78.147 miles per hour for him. Fourth quickest this afternoon, 27, John Cliff at 76.021. Fifth quickest, number 22, Rod Graham at 75.899. Sixth quickest was 63, Angela Cragg, 74.848 miles per hour. Seventh, number 79, Ed Poole at 73.631. Fifth, the newcomer, number 93, Gary Abbott at 68.983 miles per hour. Ninth quickest here was 45, Steve Higgerty at 68.810. and 10th quickest, number 15, Bob Doughty at 65.313. They are all the times that we have. So that is the practicing done now for the singles. And as Chris Kinley quite rightly said, probably lower numbers out here this afternoon because of that fine margin, as he correctly identified with a race this evening. If you've got the setup just as you want it, why go out this afternoon and potentially have a breakdown and then be ruled out from racing this evening? It will be the first race this evening. And disappointing news there to hear that Mike Brown, Chris got the gossip from the paddock this morning. Mike Brown has been pulled from all the classes and won't be racing down here at the Colas Billown Course here for this 2024 meeting. The races then this evening, just a reminder, we're under roads closed now here at the Colas Billown Course until 4:30 as a course inspection car goes past. Reopen at 4:30 or earlier. They will close again at 6 until 9 o'clock at the latest. Race 1 is the MSPR singles race over 6 laps. We'll then have the Foraging Vintners 1100cc classic race over 7 laps. Race 3, Jeff Duke's Junior Superbike, 7 laps. It's race 3, and race 4, the three-wheeling sidecar race 1. Without any further ado, let's go down to Chris Kinley.
Yeah, machines making their way into the little link road between, well, the road that I was telling you about that goes down into Castletown. This one heads you up towards back onto the bypass. They kind of sit in an area here with little yellow marks painted on the road, little yellow half squares if you want to call it that. You might see a few people out in this one that are slightly out of class. One person you can look out for, 74 Joey Thompson. He's been given permission to take the TZ 250 Yamaha out for a run, as number 16 Kelly Carruthers just goes past us there on the 500 K4 Honda, sponsored by FXT, the VMCC Somerset. 24 and 80. Number 80 is Mark Parrott, just about to come past us there. Young Marco gives a big thumbs up. And 24, his friend Tom Snow finished 11th in this race last year. 17 also out there as well, 17 Owen Monaghan, as we said. Snowy looking, hasn't changed at all. Snowy over the years, also going to the back of the field as well. 71 Scotty Wilson, good to see Scott back here again. 39 Tomo Burnett, he's on the Izzard Racing Norton. Just getting a little bit clear. Hopefully you are picking up the details, or the noise, shall I say, of these machines, because that's what, like Tim said, that's what it's all about, is the noise. And unfortunately for people listening just a little bit further afield, you hear the noise but you're not going to get the smell. Not too far away from the gate opening, Chris McGahn just rolls his machine up into his position. We'll get to the other side of the road. Back of the Sealy 500 and Chris McGahn about to go. I mean, that sounds nice if you're listening in DAB across the bay. Anyway, that there, Chris McGahn, the number 9 machine, looking really smart. The Rupert Burton Sealy, beautiful, beautiful machine that is. The machines are now onto the circuit to stand by for practice 2. The Foraging Vintners 1100cc classic race. This is only obviously the qualification to get themselves for that all-important good position. And 71 on the post-classic machine. Scott Wilson's going to be taken up at the back there now on his ZXR 750, so he's obviously had a briefing from the officials who've been told just hang back. They're obviously going to do their practice. He's obviously asked for permission to go out and just have a little run round. So stand by at the hedges. A few people there getting their early doors this morning at Ballacrane as well. There'll be a few people, I'm sure, on the Ballakagan Straight, quite a lot down there at the bottom of Iron Gate. All through Joey's Gate there as well, just on the right-hand side, just over the railway bridge. There'll be a few people watching there on the right-hand side, possibly in the house that there now. It's very smart. So there we go. All goes quiet. Rob Pritchard, cross 4 ways.
Yeah, indeed, waiting for the first 1100cc machines to make their way here. So just a quick reminder of the timings from last night. Adam McLean went quickest, the number 56 machine, at 2 minutes 45.159, just under 2 seconds clear of number 2, Andy Hornby, a best time of 2 minutes 47.134, and then less than a second back there, number 3, Alan Oversby, 2 minutes 48.041 as well. And it's a similar story in behind as well, away from what is the front row as it stands. Number 12, Richard Ford, only 3.4 2.4 seconds back, and then only 2.3 back from him, number 40, Barry Davidson. Here's the first machine out on the road. That's number 5, Paul Cassidy. So Paul Cassidy just opening up a little bit of space for himself here as 3 more machines emerge. There's number 37, the newcomer, Chris Moffat. Number 1 on through there is Joe Yeardsley. And number 21 as well there, Will Loader. Number 40, Barry Davidson through there. So Will Loader out in this session. Didn't go out in the singles classic. He's qualified on pole as it stands. Numbers 32 and 74 on the way through there as well. Bit of a mixture of machines and plants here. There's number 100, Heffernan Owen on the CLG 60. Number 12 as well, so that's Richard Ford. Number 2, Andy Hornby, ran well yesterday. And number 41, Andy Kildare as well on the way through. Andy Kildare, the number 41 on the way through from that particular group. 3 machines together this time, coming into cross 4 ways, led by number 16, Kelly Carruthers. From number 7, Harley Rushton, and number 11, Stephen Elliott as well there. So all 3 of them looking for the best line through cross 4 ways on this outlap. There's number 24, Tom Snow on the way through as well. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you very much indeed, Rob. First machine into view. And that's the number 5 bike of Paul Cassidy. 2 more machines come over School Hill Rise. Followed by 2 more. So the first of those is number 1, Joe Yeardsley, then 21, Will Loader, 40, Barry Davidson, 37, Chris Moffat, the newcomer, 74, 6th across the line was Joey Thompson, 32, Aaron Hughes, 100, Heffernan Owen, 12, Richard Ford, 2, Andy Hornby, and 41, Andy Kildare. Adam McLean was the quickest last night at 92.638. And that was 16, Kelly Carruthers, 7, Harley Rushton, and 11, Stephen Elliott. And 24, Tom Snowcross. 39, Tom O'Burnett, and 80, Mark Parrott. And 17, Owen Monaghan. So don't see Adam McLean so far out there. As number 9, Chris McGahn goes across the line. So the target time they're shooting at, 92.638 miles per hour. That's 71. Scott Wilson across the line. 1 more machine to come. 45. And that is Steve Higgerty. So that is 21 machines across the start-finish line. Let's go back to cross 4 ways and Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, Tim, looking at the machines that are going to be out there that are making their way towards us, it's very congested at the moment, timings-wise, particularly in that battle for the second row. As number 5, Paul Cassidy, still the first man out on the road at the moment, is through cross 4 ways, a couple of seconds back here. Number 1, Joe Yeardsley as well, so his best time, 2:55.331 in last night's session, only 0.4 seconds ahead of Will Loader, who's just coming past us, along with number 40, Barry Davidson as well, 5th fastest last night. There is number 74 on the green plate there on the way through that's already been mentioned by Chris, that's been given permission to go out. 4 close together, 37, 2, 32 and 12. Richard Ford there. He was leading that group. There's number 100, Heffernan Owen, on the way through as well. Heffernan Owen with a bit of ground to make up in this particular class, or by their standards already. Here's number 41. That's Andy Kildare on the 750 Honda as well. So scunch of around 4 machines all going through cross 4 ways together with Andy Kildare backing things up. Here's number 16, Kelly Carruthers. Had 2 other machines for company on the previous lap as well, but just opened up a little bit of a gap to those in behind. Stephen Elliott's through. Back to you, Tim.
First bike over School Hill Rise. There should be. It is. Number 5, but I think number 1's gaining. Indeed he is, Joe Yeardsley, 90.375. So that's up from his 87.264 miles per hour last night. But Joey Thompson even quicker, 90.402 miles per hour. Andy Hornby now top. 91.418 for Andy Hornby compared to 91.543, so just a smidge slower than last night. Still Adam McLean's time at 92.6 is top. So we've had through Andy Hornby at 91.4, Joey Thompson 90.4, Joe Yeardsley 90.37, Number 12, Richard Ford, fourth quickest at 89.221. And that is exactly the same as he recorded last night. Fifth quickest, number 40, Barry Davidson, 88.935. Sixth, number 5, Paul Cassidy at 88.288. Seventh, number 21, Will Loader, 87.726. Eighth, number 16, Kelly Carruthers at 86.750. Here's number 9, Chris McGahn, and that was 71. Scott Wilson, who goes up into 8th above Kelly Carruthers, 87.370. Carruthers in 9th and completing the top 10, number 32, Aaron Hughes at 86.124 miles per hour. Robert, cross four ways.
Yes, number 5, Paul Cassidy, first on the road here, but as you've mentioned here, out on the road, number 1, Joe Yeardsley in behind, just gaining a little bit of ground. So on a bit of a charge is Joe Yeardsley, around 6 seconds or so quicker than his best time last night in this class is number 40, Barry Davidson. A couple of bike lengths ahead of number 21, Will Loader, still trying to hold on to a place in the second row. As number 2, Andy Hornby comes through, as Tim's already mentioned, very similar time for Andy Hornby to the one he set last night. Here's number 12, Richard Ford on the way through cross four ways on this latest flying lap at number 32. Aaron Hughes as well, that distinctive HM Racing machine in the background. Number 100, Heffernan, number 37, Chris Moffat, the newcomer, on the way through as well. We did have a retirement here across four ways on the last lap. Number 17, Owen Monaghan, came to a stop here. So number 17, Owen Monaghan, a retirement on the last lap here across four ways. There's number 41, Andy Kildare, on the way through as well. So it's Andy Hornby with the fastest time, but again, still not able to make inroads on that Adam McLean time from last night. There's number 16, Kelly Carruthers there, 2 minutes 56.3, the best time at the moment. Back to you, Tim.
Here's Cassidy, and there's Yeardsley. Joe Yeardsley has gone quicker there, 91.383. So has Paul Cassidy, 89.473. 3 machines in view. But the third of the machines is a retirement. That is number 21, Will Loader, with his left arm out and over on the left-hand side of the road quite correctly. Number 12, Richard Ford, is up into third on the session, 89.725 miles per hour. Aaron Hughes has improved in 8th, number 32, at 86.723. 9th there and improving is number 100, Heffin Owen, at 86.028. And the newcomer, Chris Moffat, 16th quickest, number 37 at 82.023. Andy Kildare is through. He's in 12th at the moment on the timing sheets, 84.821. Kelly Carruthers moved up to 7th, number 16 at 86.820. So Andy Hornby at 94.070 is quickest of all. He's well surpassed Adam McLean's 92.638 to get into the provisional pole position. 2 minutes board is out. Are they going to make it round in time to get another lap in the leading crews? Let's go out to cross four ways and Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, one more chance on the flying lap of this session, and just having a look at a couple of those times as to how some of these riders are doing. We're seeing improvements across the board for a lot of these riders in this second session, clearly putting the work in. Now a new machine first on the road is number 1, Joe Yeardsley, who's got himself past number 5, Paul Cassidy, both running well incidentally as well. So Paul Cassidy mentioned 4th fastest of this particular session at the moment. There's number 2, Andy Hornby, still the pace setter at the moment of this particular session. Number 40, Barry Davidson on the way through as well. Barry Davidson, 5th quickest at the moment in this particular 1100cc qualifying session. There's number 12, Richard Ford, once again through on the Bob Jackson Norton through cross four ways there, and then a bit of a gap to the machines in behind, if indeed any more have made it through to get onto this final flying lap here. But yes, Joe Yeardsley, if you look at a 2:47.4 currently the quickest time compared to 2:55.3 last night in this class. There's number 100, Heffin Owen, on the way through in the top 10 in this particular session at the moment. So looking to work his way up the order there is Heffin Owen as well. But not too many machines out on the course at the moment for this final flying lap, I think it is. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, the 1 minute board's been out for quite a while, but number 1's going to get across the line before the checkered flag, as is number 5. So Joe Yeardsley has gone second quickest in the session, 91.792. And just getting through there was Andy Hornby at 94.07. Number 40 takes the checkered flag now. It was tight. There's only a couple of them got through if they want to choose to go on another flying lap. 40, Barry Davidson, quickest of the session, 89.012. And Richard Ford, third quickest now, and his quickest lap of the afternoon, 90.432. So Andy Hornby is the provisional pole sitter ahead of second place. It will be from last night, Adam McLean. There's number 100 finishing the afternoon's work in this class. Number 100, of course, is Heffin Owen at 86.578 miles per hour, the man from D-side. So the checkered flag is ending this session. There's two more bikes coming to view. We'll hear them across. You could hear them switching off there. That was 16, Kelly Carruthers, 7th quickest this afternoon, but didn't improve on the time from the previous lap at 86.820. And we also had, I think it was Andy Kildare through as well. Another machine interview. That's 39, Tomo Burnett, and he's up into 10th. Quickest was the previous lap, 85.397. Let's see the leading cruise through again at Cross Four Ways, Rob Pritchard.
Great timing, Tim. Number 1, Joe Yeardsley on his way through. Can he make up just a little bit more ground, possibly, on this final chance in this session? There's number 2, Andy Hornby as well. Great running, as Tim's mentioned there, looking to take that pole position spot in this 1100cc class. So 2 more machines through Cross Four Ways. And just for a bit of context on those laps, so Joe Yeardsley last night, a best of 255.3, that 246.682. Currently his fastest in this session. That might change, of course, going across the line this time around. So a marked improvement for Joe Yeardsley there. Richard Ford as well, taking just under a second off the previous time with that 2 minutes 50.5, 251.4 in the last session as well. Paul Cassidy with a major improvement here. 3 minutes 1.5 seconds was the quickest he could manage in the 1100cc class in the last session. That's down to 2 minutes 51, almost exactly as well there. So great running from Paul Cassidy. Huge improvement out there. And as we've already mentioned, Andy Hornby, similar times and out front at the moment on the timings. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, first machine interview is the number 1 outfit. That's Joe Yeardsley. He's gone quicker at 92.229. But here is Andy Hornby. Can't improve on that 94.070. 92.229. That will put him in third position. It will be Adam McLean at 92.638 from last night. Will be in second. The meat and the sandwich. But Joe Yeardsley has got himself right up near the front of the grid. But it'll be Andy Hornby that will be on pole position when we go racing this evening. So we'll go through the times that we have then from this afternoon's session. So the quickest this afternoon and quickest overall, number 2, Andy Hornby, 2 minutes 43.867 seconds, 94.07 miles per hour. Second this afternoon, number 1, Joe Yeardsley at 92.229 miles per hour. Third, number 12, Richard Ford at 90.432 miles per hour. Fourth, number 5, Paul Cassidy. It's a big improvement the Castletown man has made, 89.473 miles per hour. Fifth quickest, number 40, Barry Davidson, 89.016 miles per hour. Sixth quickest, 21, Will Loader, 87.726 miles per hour. Seventh, number 16, Kelly Carruthers, 86.820. Eighth quickest, number 32, Aaron Hughes at 86.723 miles per hour. Ninth, number 100, Heffin Owen, 86.578 miles per hour. 10th, number 39, Tomo Burnett, 85.397. Excuse me, bit of a misfire in the commentary box. 11th, number 80, Mark Parrott, 85.360. 12th, number 24, Tom Snow. 13th, number 41, Andy Kildare. 14th, number 9, Chris McGahn. 15th, number 11, Stephen Elliott. 16th, number 37, the newcomer, Chris Moffat. And those are the finishes that we have so far. So, well, what a performance from Andy Hornby. 91.543 miles per hour last night. 94.070 miles per hour this afternoon. Let's get the thoughts across 4 ways with Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, some more improvements across the board there. You've already mentioned Andy Hornby and that pole-setting time, extremely good indeed. Just looking elsewhere, we mentioned that Paul Cassidy had already taken around 10 seconds off the times from last night as well. About 5.5 seconds, Andy Hornby, his better time today. And Kelly Carruthers as well has gone well in this particular class as well. A 2:56 compared to 3 minutes 3.9 in last night's session, the best time Kelly Carruthers set. So a good run out there. Around 8.5 seconds taken off a time by Aaron Hughes as well. It was 3 minutes 4.9 seconds last night, 2 minutes 56.4 in this particular session. There's also marginal improvement for Tom Snow as well, 3 minutes 4.6 seconds in last night's session, managing 3 minutes exactly and then 0.07 as well. So several of those just shaving a couple of seconds off those times, and what it means is, particularly in the second and third rows, as we're looking at the way the stats are setting themselves at the moment, is the gaps that were appearing in part of the session last night, and you can never draw too many conclusions from an opening practice and qualifying session, but it just means those gaps are starting to close up a little bit. Over to Chris Kinley.
Yeah, just into the holding area now. Machines already being moved forward. I've just seen that pole setter Matt Mulcrease come through, 33. Chris Moore, 74. Joey Thompson. His dad just asking him to stop there a minute and just maybe have a little look at something. He's just been for a little trundle round in that last session, maybe just to run something in. Who knows? Better chain, and who knows what he was going to do. But he was out there anyway, getting a couple of laps in, maybe just one, I think. 53 goes through. Also 36, 53. That's Rad Hughes, of course. Good to see Rad here again, number 1. Joe Yeardsley, Joe on the little 400. Rad is continuing to stream forward. Number 50 is next. That's Dave Glover, 9th in this race last year on the Dayglow racing machine. Very different sorts of machines in here. CBR 600s, you got ZXR 400s, 250s, got Laverda just in front of me as well. Number 36, Andy Jessup on that machine. 43 is Dale Brew, a newcomer to the circuit. A newcomer to racing, races up at Derby. Runs a little Moto 2 machine up at Derby, which is an interesting thing to see and hear as well. Really nice. We're on the subject of that. If you are coming over, I mentioned it last night, to the Southern 100 meeting itself when that's finished on the Thursday. If you fancy extending your stay for a couple of days, got a 2-day meeting up there on the circuit, up at the Airfield Circuit, Derby. 94's next to me now. Adam Randalls. Adam, a newcomer here. He's on a Honda VFR 400. I always wanted one of them. And do you know what? Adams, you won't mind me saying it, is a big lad. And yeah, he makes that thing look like a mini moto, to be fair. Does Adam, gives us a big thumbs up as well. Good to see him on that too. Next to him is Dale Brew, and he's got a rear-facing camera on Dale. Oh, there's the rear light it is. He's got it on the machine. They've all got the rear lights on. Just on the back of 24, Tom Snow as well, the Yamaha. Looking really, really smart. Number 43, though, the Dale Brew machine, is a 1984 TZ L49V version of that, actually. Yeah, it looks really nice. I think we'll be getting the gate open any second now because the official cars are back. Yep, gate is just about to be open. Get ready to go. Third practice session. Going to stand behind Dale's machine when it goes. Doesn't that sound pretty sweet, eh? Just looking at the carbs there as well. The carbs are all open. It's either there's no little gauze, little wire mesh over the carbs there as well, just to cover for any stones getting in. So yeah, you used to see them like that, didn't you, years ago? The carbs, if they're all open in the back, especially on the TZs, you'd have like a little gauze or any of the other machines over to stop any stones being sucked in. That's hopefully it doesn't anyway, but it looks really nice. You can just see the needle as well on the slider on the carb, just up and down slightly. Really, really nice, really clean. Looks really nice in there. Keep an eye on that 43 machine. Got the Dimag wheels as well. Looks really, really smart. So here we go then. That blue haze of smoke once again. And the race sponsored by, well, it's the Jeff Dukes Junior Superbike race. Those machines are now heading out on circuit. Who's going to be quickest? Is it still going to be Matt Mulcrease? Adam Randall's just got a bit of a problem there. Adam, of course, from Ramsey on the Isle of Man, works at one of the local Motor Factor places. Does Adam? He's a regular up there at Derby. He runs a, he's running an R6. I think he is running an R6 this year from memory. Is Adam? just having a couple of problems. His guy's just going to have a little talk with him. And he was telling me about a month or so ago he's got this machine for this, and he's looking forward to it. Keep an eye on Adam. He's on at 94. Problems all sorted. And the man who went to go and have a chat with him has got a little GoPro thing in the front of his peaked hat on his thing. That's a thing. Don't even think about it. Let's go to Cross Four Ways, lap 1.
Yeah, first two machines emerging into view here. First through Cross Four Ways is going to be number 34 outfit. There's number 4, Reese Hardesty, who is in fact pulling over here at Cross Four Ways. So maybe a bit of a mechanical issue, not sure there. So Reese Hardesty, number 4, has just pulled over at Cross Four Ways. Huge scotch of them now, 47, 74, 159. 33, Chris Moore. There's number 44, Paul Turner, 98. And there's number 1 as well of Joe Yeardsley. So a fair selection of machines through Cross Four Ways now, as number 3 and number 52 side by side on the way through. So Alan Oversby just moving up through the inside past number 52, Matt Milcrease, the benchmark in this class from last night. There's number 53, Rad Hughes, on the way through as well. And what's interesting to note as they go through on this outlap as numbers 59 and 49 are through as well. This is Mark Colvin, William Birchall, the newcomer, and number 104 through as well. Is that from 6th, number 98, Damien Crook from last night, to number 74, Joey Thompson in 10th. Less than a second between all of them. Back to you, Tim.
First bike over School Hill Rise. That is number 34, Don Gilbert, safely through. Of course, no times this particular lap, because it isn't a full completed lap, with them coming onto the 3 together, overtaking progress. Joey Thompson there, number 74, getting the better of the newcomer, number 47, Luke Blevins. 159, Daryl Tweed through, 33, Chris Moore, 98, Damien Crook, number 1, Joe Yeardsley, number 52, Matt Milcrease, who was the quickest from last night at 96.240. Then we had number 44, Paul Turner. Number 3, Alan Oversby. 53, Rad Hughes. 49, William Birchall. 59, Mark Colvin. And 104, Leon Murphy, all safely through. More machines coming across the bridge and into view. That's 97, Simon Lehane. And then we had 50, Dave Glover, 12, Richard Ford, 18, Michael Bampton, 88, Rob Lowe, and that was 89, the newcomer, Ashley Robson. Other machines, 3 into view. And of those, 95 we can give you was Martin Clare across the line, but no time for any more. Out to Cross Four Ways, Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, just as number 34, Don Gilbert comes through Cross Four Ways there, and on the way up towards Church Bends, we mentioned that number 4, Reese Hardesty, pulled over here at Cross Four Ways on the last lap, and it doesn't look like he'll be continuing this session here, so that looks like a retirement. As number 74, Joey Thompson, number 33, Chris Moore, number 159, Darrell Tweed, close together, 4 more, 47, 98. Number 1 and number 52, Matt Milcrease. So 7 machines in total, all quite bunched together. There's number 3, Alan Oversby as well. So he was third quickest in that previous session. 2 minutes 43.2, the best time from Alan Oversby in the last session as they go out on this first flying lap as well. So interesting to see Matt Milcrease just caught behind a little bit of traffic there, and not slow traffic there either, I think it's fair to say, as number 53, Brad Hughes, is on the way through as well. But that's a series of around 6 or 7 machines that made their way through quite close together. To you, Tim.
Yeah, a lot of machinery on the Colas Billown course at the moment. There's 34, Don Gilbert, 95.967. So that is way up on his time from last night. Number 74, just through there, I think Joey Thompson. But that's, 95.418. But Chris Moore's gone quicker, 95.682. But Matt Milcrease, 97.087, improves his 96.240 from last night. Also through there, Alan Oversby at 94.359. Daryl Tweed, number 159, 93.933. 98, Damien Crook at 93.142. Number 1, Joe Yeardsley at 91.752. And 47, the newcomer, Luke Blevins. He's over the 90.0 296 miles per hour. Rad Hughes is through as well. He's in 10th quickest at 89.854, and 49 William Birchall 88.347. Mark Colvin through number 59 at 86.198. But upping the ante on last night is bike number 52 Matt Milcreast 97.087 miles per hour. Then it's Gilbert, Moore, Thompson and Oversby. Let's go back to cross four ways. Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, the standard getting set higher and higher, isn't it? As we've got number 36, Andrew Jessup on the Laverda on the way through. And number 94 as well, another of the newcomers, Adam Randall's on the Honda VFR. And number 34 as well. There's Don Gilbert running well, as Tim's already pointed out. Another one to mention who's made massive improvements is number 33, Chris Moore, in this particular session. We'll come to that in a moment. As we've got number 45, that's Steve Higgerty on the way through cross four ways on this particular occasion. Two more machines. Who have we got now? Number 74, Joey Thompson, followed closely by the aforementioned number 33, Chris Moore. There's number 52, Matt Milcreast, now ahead of number 159, Darrell Tweed on the road as well. So Matt Milcreast clearing just a little bit of traffic. There's number 98, Dalian Crook, also running well. Three machines quite close together at the front of those is number 47, Luke Blevins, the newcomer. Alan Oversby in behind, number 3. And then number 43 in there as well, Dale Brew, number 1, Joey Erty. So a couple of newcomers sandwiching Alan Oversby between them. Back to you, Tim.
Well, we're guessing about looking up to the bridge because we had Kissick, the steam engine, coming through with the train from Douglas to Port Erin, so we couldn't see with all the smoke. There is number 34, Don Gilbert, quicker again at 96.851 miles per hour. 36 across the line there. And 36 is, of course, Andrew Jessup. And 33, Chris Moore. And Matt Milcreast has gone quicker again. Number 52, 97.773 miles per hour for Matt Milcreast. Also through there, we had Chris Moore, 95.894. Darrell Tweed at 93.933. That was the previous lap. Alan Oversby not gone quicker, so he still has that time at a speed of 94.359. Joe Yeardsley through, as is number 47, Luke Blevins, the newcomer. But it's Matt Milcreast who's upping the times. Standard is going up and up and up. 53, Rad Hughes, quickest of his time here in this particular class. 90.356 miles per hour. Another machine over School Hill Rise is number 49, the newcomer, William Birchall. And he's gone quicker at 88.875. So Milcreast, 97.773. Number 52 is quickest, ahead of number 34, Don Gilbert at 96.851. And then Chris Moore at 95.8. Let's go to Rob Pritchard at Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple of those times there. Looking at Joey Thompson, so his best from last night's session, 2:46.7, that 2:40.3, so taking 6.4 seconds off that time from last night. That's great running from Joey Thompson out there. There appears to be developments out on the course, so just at the moment, we'll hand back to race control.
Yeah, we've got a waved yellow ahead of us, but I've just turned round and I can see that the red flag is out here on display on the start-finish line. So we do have a red flag. Waved yellow still up ahead, but it is a red flag, so this session will be coming to a close. And until we have any further details, we'll just hand it back to Broadcasting House. And as soon as we have any news on a restart and indeed what has happened here, we will bring that to you once we get notification from Race Control. But just to say, a red flag in this Junior Superbike session. We'll hand it back to Broadcasting House. Welcome back to our Manx Radio motorsport coverage of the Blackford Financial Services pre-TT Classic road races. Just a red light incident at the moment. It took place at Bala Whetstone, but we can tell you the rider is conscious and talking, but they are being taken to Nobles Hospital for further assessment. In the meantime, back at the headquarters in the clubhouse at the paddock, a BMW motorcycle has unfortunately fallen onto its side in the car park there. The registration is WST G61. WST-G61. Would the owner of that motorcycle please return to his bike and attend to it? A BMW motorcycle, unfortunately, it's on its side in the car park down at the paddock, the clubhouse. WST-G61. Would the owner please go and attend to his bike? As soon as we have news of where we are and getting things back underway, just a reminder then, a red light, a red flag incident. But there are lights here as well now, of course, and at the bottom at the return into Arbury Road. The incident at Bala Whetstone. The rider is, though, conscious and talking, but will be taken to Nobles for further assessment. As soon as we have an update on action getting back underway here at the Colas Billown Course, we will be back with you. But in the meantime, back to Broadcasting House. Welcome back to the Blackford Financial Services pre-TT Classic Road Race meeting here at the Colas Billown Course in the south of the Isle of Man, promoted by the Southern 100 Club. We did have a red flag incident in the third session of our practice here this afternoon. The incident was at Bala Whetstone, but the rider, we're glad to report, is conscious and talking. They are, though, being taken to Nobles Hospital for a further assessment. Also, a BMW motorcycle has unfortunately fallen onto its side in the car park down at the Southern 100 clubhouse. The registration, WST G61. WST G61. Will the owner of that BMW motorcycle please attend to his machine, and everything can be rectified down there at the paddock. No news yet from race control about any restart here, but we have seen, under escorted by the travelling marshal, all the bikes that were out in that third session, which was the junior superbikes. They have come past us here, and will have gone past Rob Pritchard out at Cross Four Ways as well, under travelling marshal escort, one at the front, one at the back. The whole gaggle of machinery now back in the paddock, and we will wait and see exactly when we get underway here again. As soon as we get news from race control, we'll bring that to you. In the meantime, a couple of messages that are important to get out about the life, of course, of the Southern 100 Club, and a message from Callum Staley, who is doing an excellent job running the Southern 100 social media for the club. And ahead of the Southern 100, they're trying to get more visitor numbers for the Southern 100, which takes place, of course, in July. And Beth is going to give me the exact dates here, because I haven't got them in front of me. The 8th to the 11th of July. There are a number of packages that are going to be on offer as well. Of course, I'd recommend you come to that meeting anyway. It's an absolutely fantastic bit of road racing. The big machines, the big names down here at the Colas Billown Club. But there is going to be the Isle of Man Steam Packet Company, of course, are the title sponsors of that meet. And they're offering both short break packages and a day trip to the Southern 100. It's going to be advertised very shortly by the club and the Steam Packet, so we're giving you advance notice. You can get all the details, though, already, and that's on the website, the steampacket.com website, on the Southern 100 blog page that's on there. So do check that out. There's offers, I think, £55, I think, was one day trip on offer as a foot passenger coming to the Isle of Man, included breakfast as well. So have a look on that and see if you can get yourself over in July to the Stellar meeting, the Southern Hundreds, Isle of Man Steam Packet Southern 100 race meeting. Just got the 2 course inspection cars going past us now, and another of the travelling marshals. So that looks like the course will have been inspected, and hopefully we'll get news of a restart very shortly. But just going to bring you some of the news and press releases that we've had from the Southern 100, and we'll go all the way back a little bit to a couple of people we've lost that have been integral to the Southern 100 over the course of many a year. And we'll start with one particular gentleman that we lost, of course, over the year, Alan Kipper-Killip, MBE. Very sad back in August last year that we heard that Kipper had passed away, and our heartfelt condolences still, of course, with his family and all his many, many friends. And Roy Gelling was another long life supporter of the Southern 100 that we lost as well during the course of the year. And again, we pay our deepest respects to the family in there as well. And of course, a former clerk of the TT course and former Southern 100 stalwart Jack Wood was lost during the last year. And great years of service that he's put in for the benefit of our sport here on the Isle of Man. So, again, the same sentiments expressed, of course, to all of these people that have played such an important part in the life and times of the Southern 100. And Artie Oates, of course, another previous Formula 2 sidecar champion, also passed away quite recently, as did Vice President Don Fairbairn. So we send our very, very best wishes to the families of all of those really dedicated enthusiasts of road racing here at the Southern 100 who've sadly been lost during the past year. Also can remind people that, and we're near the airport, so it's an obvious one really, but the Southern 100, the Colas Billown Course, of course, is a no drone zone for the time of this meeting. We're very near the airport, so it's pretty much no drone all the time, I would suspect. But just to remind race fans and visitors, spectators and the general public, it is designated as a no drone zone by the Isle of Man Civil Aviation Administration for the whole duration of these races. The air space above the Southern 100 course can get busy with the activity, of course, of aircraft, as we've seen. The planes flying right over us here on the start-finish line on their final approach into Ronaldsway Airport for landing. Drones can also pose a serious distraction and threat to the riders. Race marshals will immediately report any drones to race control, and an unauthorised operation of a drone may result in a race or practice being stopped. So we don't want that to happen. Plus, if you are convicted of breaching these regulations, you face a fine of up to £10,000. So a similar restriction will be in place during the Isle of Man Steam Packet Company's Southern 100 road races on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, the 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th of July. And news as well that Manx Radio will continue to be the official broadcast partner for the Southern 100 International Road Races up to and including the 2030 event. As the official broadcast partner, Manx Radio will also continue to broadcast the pre-TT Classic races live as part of this agreement. And in addition, the national broadcaster will also provide live coverage of the Southern 100 Racing's annual media launch, which takes place in February each year. Manx Radio has actually provided live commentaries for the Isle of Man Steam Packet and the Blackford pre-TT since 1964, which was the year that the station was founded. In 2014, they became the official broadcast partner, marking their 50th anniversary. And of course, this year, the radio station is celebrating its 60th anniversary, so 6 decades of broadcasting down here at the Southern 100. And a note for one of the real stalwarts of the Southern 100, and that, of course, is George Peach, the chairman at the moment and race secretary. He's been race secretary for a long time. Well, he's been honoured for his dedication to the motorcycle sport, especially his involvement at the Southern 100 for over 40 years. George was invited to attend the prestigious Isle of Man Sports Awards 2023 ceremony at the Villa Marina, where the guest of honour was Manx Olympic snowboarder Zoe Gillings-Brier, who has represented Great Britain in 4 Winter Games, and he was under the impression that he had been nominated for an administration award. Another obstacle was that the Southern Hundreds Club's annual general meeting, which was due to be held in the same evening, but thankfully after much persuasion by other committee members, the AGM was postponed for 24 hours. Do you get the impression that George didn't really want to go to the sports awards here? Well, he eventually did, and he got a great surprise while he was there, because he was awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award. So a big congratulations there to George. He was elected chairman to replace Phil Taubman, who was elevated to president of the Southern 100 Racing Club in February 2018. George joined the committee in 1982, so way back, and he was one of the regular volunteers assisting with the preparation of building the 4.25-mile course prior to racing, and signing on as a marshal for the duration of the races, before then helping dismantle the course at the end of the event for very many years. He's been in the position of being on the committee and race secretary when he took over that in 1989, and then became chair. He still holds the position of race secretary, ably assisted by his daughter Rachel. He took that on in 1989, looking after the administration of all the entry details for the 3 meetings the club had. Of course, they don't have the post-TT races anymore. They started in 1991, but we haven't had them for a couple of years. Pre-TT, of course, started in 1988. The Southern 100 was between 2007 and 2018 a full international road race, one of only 3 sanctioned by the FIM, the governing body of motorcycle sport worldwide in the British Isles. But the pre-TT Classic Road Races, as the title suggests, opens the Isle of Man TT Festival and is regarded as one of the premier classic road races in the annual calendar, while the post-TT, well, not with us anymore, unfortunately. But a huge congratulations to George Peach on his lifetime achievement at the Isle of Man Sports Awards. His ethos really epitomises the Southern 100. His principled, objective approach, honesty and responsibility creates an aura about him. And he has a very friendly and charming manner as well that puts people instantly at ease. So I know many of the riders hold George Peach in huge esteem and respect. And, well, why not? Let's put the spotlight for a change on George. I know he'll hate me for it. He'll hate this being highlighted, but it is a really marked and significant award that he picked up for a lifetime dedicated to this sport that we all love. Well, still no news yet on what is happening and when we're going to get back underway. But just maybe we can pop and have a quick word with Chris Kinley, see if there's any activity down there, and just his thoughts as well on those that have passed over the past year and the contributions they have made, and the contribution of George Peach and that well-deserved Lifetime Achievement Award that he got at the Isle of Man Sports Awards this year. Chris Kinley.
Yeah, no better man, Tim, to win something like that because, he's given so much to the club, as have so many members of the Sunderland Club who've been members since it started in 1955. And, when I'm driving past here, as I quite regularly do, I'll see George and Tubby and all these other people, Peter Oates, lots of other people as well, down here doing stuff. When he starts from about January, February time, just getting stuff ready, getting the burger vans ready, getting stuff out. George is here with the dog. I've seen him out there. Was it last week or the week before with the marker paint, putting the marker post, putting the marker edges in round the paddock area for all the vans to park in, so they've designated areas you have to park in. He was in there marking it out with the line marker, and then he had his, I think he had one of the old things you used to use when you used the markers. We used to do the marker with the lines at football pitches. He was doing it that way. I've seen him doing that, but he was timing it out. He was marking it out with the little meter marker that they has, and then stopping, making a mark, then getting the thing. It was good to see. And he had his little companion, his little black dog with him as well while he was doing it. Yeah, and all thoughts for all those other people you mentioned and as well, Tim. Just give you some information. There is a course car has just left here about 3 or 4 minutes ago, making its way around to where the incident was at the back of the circuit, just dropping off a medical box, and when they get back here, we'll be getting back underway. So yeah, lots of people have been involved with the club for many, many years. Lots of them still out there in the Orange Army marshalling, or maybe if they're just getting a bit older like we all are, still helping the club in some way by going around with a collection bucket, helping cooking the burgers, helping doing this, helping doing that. They all like to still be involved in the club. And it is, like we've said in many, many occasions, it is a big, big family club. So I'm just looking up there now. There's no sign of movement really. Fair few spectators still around. A few did disappear when the red flag came out, just to maybe get a bit of sustenance, which we'll be doing hopefully ourselves in a wee while. Just coming up to 2 it is now. Still got a good few practice sessions to get through. But that's the news that we have from down here, that there is a car coming. There is a car just making its way around to the far side of the circuit at Ballowetstone, and we'll be getting underway again here shortly.
Chris had the pleasure of bumping into Richard McAleer, who of course used to be a Castletown resident and has gone off to a new life in Northern Ireland, but has come back to do his duties up there in the holding area at the paddock, and had a breakfast with him, which was great. But would you trust that man with the klaxon that we've been talking about all this week?
Well, first of all, I want to know, did you pay for it? That's the big thing, really, because there's history.
We both paid for our own.
Good-o.
Because we arrived at different times.
Yeah. Right, so the car is back, which is good news. So the 1 minute board will be shown. In fact, that car, Dickie, just going to hang on for that car a minute, let the bikes go through. So they are coming through now. Paul Cassidy on the yellow plated machine is coming forward. This is the 500cc seniors. So we'll just hold it here, guys, before we get the machines out on the circuit. Paul Cassidy is the first one back. So good news. We are about to get back underway here at the Colas Billown circuit. Number 62 is just coming through there. Carl Fox on the Roy Fox racing machine. 82 newcomer, Stevan Radakovic. He was going quite well the other day. He's from Berkhamsted. 21 is next through. 21 Will Loader, going well in practice earlier on. Will, of course, on the Sealy G50, the Hinkley rider. 25 is next rider out, giving people that he knows a wave. 25 Andy Guy. 32 is next as well there. That's Aaron Hughes, 8th in this race last year. 22 is next. They've been set up there for a little while. 22 is Rod Graham on the Honda CB500, the 4. Number 7 is next on the Craven Classic. Max Norton, Honda actually, I beg your pardon, sorry. Harley Rushton on the Ted Wolf machine. Craven Racing. Barry Davison, Pox Pastors as well. Number 9, Chris McGarn. Number 84, Roger Moore, he's an actor, isn't he? Nigel Moore on the Sealy G50, the Dungannon rider. Of course, regular on the Irish road racing scene for many, many years, and a multiple Irish champion in various classes. 37 is next, Chris Moffat, newcomer here. Looks nice, that machine he's on the Manx Norton, the Kevin Flynn Manx Norton. 20 is next there, that's Gary Hutton. Gary on the 500 Honda, 86 just behind him with the newcomer's jacket on. Then we got number 80, Mark Parrott just goes through. 39, Tomo Burnett on the Izzard Racing Manx Norton. As we look back up towards the exit of the little holding bay, holding pen, whatever you want to call it here. 24 is next, that'll be Tom Snow. Retirement in this race last year on his Ducati. Lack of adhesion flags will be at Ballowetstone for the first lap. Obviously due to that incident there, we wish the rider well. Lack of adhesion flags at Ballowetstone, okay. For those of you who don't know where Ballawhetstone is, come out through Ballabeg, go to the slight left, to the right again, just round about there. So yeah, you don't really want to be doing that there, but we're getting underway any second. In fact, we are now. Machines making the way out onto the Colas Billown circuit, 4¼ miles. Good afternoon to you guys out there listening on Manx Radio. We get the spectators starting to move into their positions again. So, lap 1 of the Greystones LLC 500cc Senior Classic practice. The second practice session is underway. Let's head to Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Welcome back to Cross Four Ways as we await the first machines to make their way towards us. Just a quick reminder then of what happened in this particular session, the 500cc Senior Classic last night. Adam McLean, the number 56 machine, setting the best lap time of 2 minutes 43.344 seconds. In behind that, number 1, Joe Yeardsley, second quickest at 2 minutes 46.830. So just under 3.5 seconds off the pace of Adam McLean there. And then, as it stands at least, making up the front row from last night's timings, number 3, Alan Oversby in third, just over a second behind Joe Yeardsley, a best time of 2 minutes 47.845. So there's quite a lot of competitions going on, particularly in and around the top 10 as well. And just looking through some of the timings from last night as well, there's only around 3 or 4 to 5 seconds separating the likes of number 32, Aaron Hughes, in 6th, right the way through to number 80, Mark Parrott, in 11th. And in the between those two, Barry Davidson's 7th quickest, 2 minutes 56.2. Mike Brown, who, as we've heard already, has withdrawn from the meeting, unfortunately, was 8th quickest, 256.8. Number 84, Nigel Moore, 9th, 256.9. As the first machines make their way through, here comes number 5, Paul Cassidy, and in behind him, number 100, Heffernan Owen. And also number 1, Joe Yeardsley. As well, it's mentioned that Joe Yeardsley on the Royal Enfield, as Adam McLean was last year as well. Adam McLean who took victory, so maybe that Royal Enfield machine might be the one to beat in this class as it stands at the moment. There's number 21, Will Loader, 4th fastest in the session last night, 2 minutes 53.546. So more good running from Will Loader as 2 more machines make their way forward. There's number 37, Chris Moffat, followed by number 66, Robert Noyle, number 40, Barry Davidson, and number 32, the aforementioned Aaron Hughes as well. So 4 more machines emerging towards Cross Four Ways. Number 62 there, Carl Fox. Number 84, Nigel Moore. And number 82, Stevan Radakovic. Number 25, Andrew Guy as well. Number 9 and 22, so Chris McGahn and Rod Graham through Cross Four Ways as well. There's number 7, Harley Rushton on this outlap as well on the Craven Classic Norton. Looking great, that machine out there. Number 80, Mark Barrett. Over to you, Tim.
Green flag on display as machines, 3 of them in real close proximity to each other. Joe Yeardsley, number 1, 100, Heffernan Owen, and 5, Paul Cassidy. That was great, almost racing action in a start of a practice session for these 500cc seniors. Next bike is the number 21 bike of Will Loader, the Sealy G50. 2 more into view over School Hill Rise, and a third just a little further back. And a 4th. So that was 37, newcomer Chris Moffat. 40, Barry Davidson. 32, Aaron Hughes. 66 is Robert Noyle. And 84, Nigel Moore. 9, Chris McGahn through. 82, newcomer Stefan Radakovic. 62, Carl Fox through. 25, Andrew Guy. 22, Rod Graham. 18, Mark Parrott. 24, Tom Snow. And 39, Tom O'Burnett, all through. And Adam McLean, that time there for the number 56 bike of 93.667 is the target to get on pole. There's number 20, Gary Hutton, just going through. Another bike, looks a little, leg is out, indicating a retirement, and that is Kyle Parks, number 86. Let's go to Cross Four Ways and Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, Tim, you mentioned that time of 93.667, Adam McLean there. That's very close to the race record pace he set in 2023. Number 1, Joe Yeardsley now first on the road, ahead of number 5, Paul Cassidy. a number 100 Heffernan as well. So Joe Yeardsley just has a bit of fresh tarmac in front of him on this first flying lap of this 500cc Senior Classic session as well. So he might be able to put the hammer down a little bit, trying to close on that 3.486 second gap between himself and Adam McLean in the top spot in the timings just at the moment. There is number 21 Will Loader as well. Plenty of space for him to use the Billown Course to his advantage. He's got 5.7 seconds to make up on the time of number 3 Alan Oversby as well. So a bit of time for him to make up 2 more machines. There's number 40 Barry Davidson and number 32 Aaron Hughes. Aaron Hughes 6th fastest and Barry Davidson 7th fastest, as previously mentioned. There was just under 0.2 seconds between them as number 37 Chris Moffat and number 84 Nigel Moore through cross four ways for the first time on this flying lap as well. 2 more machines down into the dip in front of us and making their way forward, led by number 9 Chris McGahn. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, first machine is the number 1 outfit of Joe Yeardsley, 91.480 miles per hour. And then we have 5 Paul Cassidy at 89.705 and Heffernan at 89.375 miles per hour. So Joe Yeardsley last night, 91.7. So he's just a smidge under that as another rider hooves into view. That is Will Loader, number 21, 87.461 miles per hour. So those 4 have broken away a little bit from the rest. 2 more machines now over School Hill Rise. 40 and 32, Aaron Hughes, 87.081 miles per hour. And 40, Barry Davidson at 86.378. And that was 84, Nigel Moore, 86.298. There's a newcomer, Chris Moffat, number 37. He was 84.11, he's 78.661. Ahead of him, number 9, Chris McGahn at 84.117. So we've seen Tom Snow through there, number 24, 39, Tomo Burnett, Andrew Guy, number 25, Rod Graham, number 22, and Stefan Radakovic, number 82 through. There's 62, Carl Fox. But let's go back to cross four ways, Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, indeed, as we've just got number 11, Stephen Elliott, on the way through there. That's a massive improvement for number 82, Stefan Radakovic there as number 1, Joe Yeardsley. So maybe just a little bit of traffic in front of him if he wants to keep making a bit of ground. There's number 5, Paul Cassidy. About 3 or 4 bike lengths ahead of number 100, Heffernan as well. So the 3 riders first out on the road there, they're making their way through cross four ways. So Stefan Radakovic, last time out in this particular session, was a 3:29.175 was the best. So Radakovic this time 3:17.061. So that's a good 12 seconds or so. Massive improvement for Radakovic as we've got number 21, Will Loader, on the way through, 2:54.9. That's first flying lap. Let's see how that compares to how he did. It's a 2:53.5, so a little bit slower at the moment on that first flying lap from Will Loader than he was last night, as well as we get 2 more machines. Here's number 32, Aaron Hughes, just ahead on the road now on number 40, Barry Davidson as well. So Aaron Hughes just managing to get himself past Barry Davidson on the road towards the end of this next flying lap. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, 3-minute board's been out for quite some time. There's number 1, Joe Yeardsley, 92.012. And Stephen Elliott, number 11, 83.871. So there's number 5, Paul Cassidy. No improvement for him, still 89.7. And number 100, Heffernan, 89.3. The 2-minute board is out, so all these riders know now that they're on their final lap of the Colas Billown circuit. Another rider now into view. That's number 21, Will Loader. He's gone quicker, 88.925. Remains 4th quickest in the afternoon session. But nobody's got ahead of Adam McLean's time from last night, 93.667 miles per hour as yet. That's 32, Aaron Hughes. He's gone quicker at 87.155 miles per hour. 40, Barry Davidson was through, no quicker than the time before at 86.3, but Nigel Moore's moved up into 6th, number 84, 86.905 miles per hour. That's number 9, Chris McGahn. That's his quickest lap, 84.421, currently 9th in the afternoon standings. And that was number 7, Harley Rushton through 85.2. Back to cross four ways for the final time in this practice session, Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, just looking at some of those times there, Paul Cassidy. So 2:53.8 his best time last night, 2:50.5 this time around. There's number 1, Joe Yeardsley, first on the road again across four ways on this latest flying lap on the way through. Got a number 105, Mick Morton coming past us as well on the pattern as well. There's number 5, Paul Cassidy, and number 11, Stephen Elliott as well. And Paul Cassidy catching Mick Morton there at a rate of knots on the turn. Just managed to make his way past Morton on the exit across four ways there as well. But Paul Cassidy around 3.3 seconds quicker than he was in last night's session. The best time from there. Aaron Hughes as well, marginally improving by half a second there. 2:56 last night. 2:55.5 as number 21, Will Loader, makes his way through. And just looking at that previous lap there, the 2:52 from Will Loader, an improvement on last night after being a little slower on that first flying lap there. So a bit of a gap between the machines that have now made their way up towards Church Bends and will now be roaring their way towards Stadium as well. But again, seeing improvements across the board. Still that standout, Stevan Radakovic, taking 12 seconds off the time from last night. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, checkered flag, of course, is out, as here is the number 1 machine. And just cruising across the line a little bit there, but the quickest time on the day of 92.012 miles per hour. And that's number 5, Paul Cassidy, his quickest, the opening timed lap at 89.705. And what is good to see is a lot of acknowledgement of the boards that are being put out to let people know that there's 3, 2 minutes, 1 minute, and also acknowledging the checkered flag. There is a stationary yellow at the top of School Hill Rise because a rider is just at the side of the road there, checking his machine. He's off the bike. And I think this could be, if he can't get that restarted, a long push-in, exhausting, that is, pushing in these heavy bikes. He's just seeing he can get it started, but I think he's taking it off the track now, up onto the pavement, and indeed just rested up against the lamppost there. But of course, a yellow stationary flag there, so no overtaking. 84 crosses, that's Nigel Moore. He's 6th quickest at the moment. That was done on the second of the timed laps here at 86.905 miles per hour.